again, this guy was not shy about his words. He had strong beliefs. Um, and if you look at his words on the surface, they truly they come off racist.
Mm-hmm.
They do. But I have personally seen clips where he sounds the complete opposite of a racist. Totally the opposite of a racist.
Mm-hmm.
He has strong Christian values,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, when he first passed, I was seeing a ton of clips, and I'm gonna read a quote that he said in a second, but I was seeing a ton of clips that I'm like, who is this guy? Like, this guy was a complete racist.
Mm.
And then the more I dug into him, he has clips where he sounds, maybe he had never put his self in the shoes of the man next to him, where he was just, and I mean this in the truest sense of the word, he was just ignorant to the lifestyle and the life walk and the plight of others, but it didn't come across as pure racist.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, and I quote, "Black people were quote unquote better in the 40s under Jim Crow laws." While debating a student, he actually said they were better in the 40s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do agree. That is crazy. Um, I'd have to know like the full context, but based on what you just told me, yeah, it's a wild accusation, but without empathy, he can't put himself into a black man's shoes. Never will be able to. But without empathy, do I agree with that? Of course not. Of course not. I didn't grow up in the 40s, but I've have grandparents, parents that I talk to and hear from, but I don't agree with that. Um, as far as being better off, no, I don't. I think it was bad then. I don't have to worry about it getting whipped now. I'll tell
That's
you that.
crazy.
Um, no, but I'd have to know like what does he mean by better nowadays than back in the 40s? Like what is that about? I have no idea what he's talking about. But based on what you told me, no, I don't agree with that. Of course not. But that's his. If that's what he believes, that's what he believes. I'm not going to get out of character. I'm not going to let him change my character or who I am because he said some words. I say crazy stuff sometimes too, I'm sure, you know, but I don't want to be judged by a 15-second clip or some sentence that somebody took out of a 3-hour conversation I had with you and like determine my entire makeup out of it. I say wild stuff all the time, I'm sure, but one, I don't think I should be killed for it. And I also don't expect everybody to agree with me. But at that point in time, in that place, in that manner, whatever it may be, that's what I was compelled to say or what I felt. I might change tomorrow. I might have a different outlook on something tomorrow. But I'm never going to let somebody else's belief like get me out of my character. I'll just be like, man, that's wild. Or he's a dumbass or something along those lines. But because you feel a certain way about people, oh well, oh well. But I don't know, oh well, yeah. I'm not going to lose sleep about it.
You know, obviously he was deep rooted in his Christian beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
He was pro-life, and he was actually asked um, that if his daughter were raped, um, would he allow the child and got pregnant due to it? Would he allow the child to be born? And after he called the scenario graphic. He responded, "The answer is yes. The baby would be delivered." He's strong in his convictions.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. You're asking if I agree with that?
I just want to get your thoughts on it because he had polarizing views. I mean, even people who are not pro-life.
Yeah.
People, you know, they feel there should be some limitations, rape, incest, those types of things. The baby shouldn't be born.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree 100%. I know I'm not really, it's not a tricky topic for me. Like I know where I stand with it, you know, believe that there's certain instances like rape, incest, like, yeah, if that mother or whatever does not want to carry on with that, then that's what you want to do, you know, that's what you want to do. I don't really care. Like, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me, but I'm not a woman, you know, I'm not a female. So yeah, of course it's not going to affect me. But sometimes I think that these people who get these polarizing views or whatever, sometimes I think that they may say something like that just to get a reaction, just to get a little bit more views, more clicks. I think a lot of the stuff, do they really go home at night and, you know, believe this like down to their bones? I don't know. I don't know these individuals, but sometimes it sounds like they can say these really, it's like Kanye West when he will come out and say, hey, slavery was a choice or whatever. He says some wild shit too. But do I believe that he believes all this stuff? No. I think a lot of it is to somewhat get a reaction. And if you're going to, you know, college campuses, to young-minded youth, to spark up a debate, you might want to say some controversial shit, you know? But that's what these people do. These, what job title would you even give that? I don't know. These political, I don't know, speakers. I don't know what you want to call, what you call them. But yeah, some people just say some crazy stuff sometimes just to get a reaction. Whether they truly wholeheartedly believe it or not, I don't know. Will their ideology change over time? Probably. If that situation happened to them and his daughter was raped and, you know, she did not want the baby, would he sit down and listen to his wife or I don't know. Would his views change on that? Possibly. Possibly.
Yeah, I think that you know, when things hit home, because it's always easy to talk about what you would do when it ain't happened to you yet. But it's a whole different story when these scenarios come knocking on your door.
Yeah.
And you're forced to live by all of those judgmental views that you had about others. And now you got to walk in a mile in the next man's shoes.